The biggest change is about to come into your life, and I don't even think you know it yet. The overall energy for this reading is the Eight of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. So Eight of Pentacles is about putting in that steady everyday effort, right? Just getting the job done, just working on your craft, working on who you are, working on what you need to be doing, right? And I think you've just been putting in the time. You've been putting in the effort. You've really been kind of like hustling, right? And now your time is here, baby, with the Wheel of Fortune, all right? The wheel is turning in your favor. The universe is stepping in to kind of bring in this manifestation for you because it's your time to shine. Now, I will tell you right now, the path is not all lit with sunshine and rainbows and unicorns, okay? It usually starts just this way, okay? It starts with a heartbreak that was in the past. Three of Swords is the energy of loss, devastation, like just on the floor, crying. You are so hurt, okay? So this could be, the breakup of a major relationship in your life, or this could be like just the heartbreak that comes with a real disappointment in something. Or, like you wanted like a promotion or whatever, and it just never came through, or your career that you thought was going to work out didn't work out, or whatever this is, right? But there has been just a devastating moment in your recent past where you were just like almost laying on the floor crying. You were so sad about it. But you managed to move yourself out of this grief energy with the Five of Cups reversed here. You managed to understand that even though these 3 cups fell down and that left you feeling incredibly distraught, you still had 2 cups behind you. And you found a way to at least appreciate those 2 cups. You started to transform and transmute your energy into gratitude, which is a very powerful emotion. And you started to feel worthy again, right? We started to break some of these old habits, these old naysaying things that we might have done to ourselves, an internal dialogue of not being good enough or smart enough or of value enough. And you went on this healing path where you really start to understand your value, your worth, why you might be here, right? You start to really understand that you are just valuable because you're you, right? You don't need anyone else's approval. You don't need anyone else to, validate why you're here or what you should be doing and when you should be doing it. You are valuable because you are your unique self. And I think right now you're just in a period of sort of gathering inspiration and really starting to kind of communicate more effectively with yourself and with others about the things that light you up, that make you happy, that make you curious, that make you want to really sort of forge into the unknown. Because you're ready to drop your guard. And I think this is like maybe the first time in a long time or the first time in like forever. Nine of Wands indicates that your path has been a tough one. Okay, you have really been beaten up. You have been through the ringer, right? You've had a lot on your plate. You've had to deal with a lot. But in the reverse, we have the courage to kind of open up about it. We have the courage to step into this energy of, yeah, but if I hadn't done all that, if I hadn't experienced that, I want to be who I am today. And it's important that I start to share my own story. So you're starting to charge forward on this new path of communication, of really talking about who you are, where you come from, why that's important, how your story could help other people. And that is absolutely beautiful. So actually, like, I'm going to be starting on here. So if you are someone who's on this more spiritual path where you're starting to sort of share yourself and share your visions and who you are with the world, and you're just kind of starting out. And part of that is about learning spirituality and spiritualism. Start looking out for the memberships that I'm going to put on to our channel here, where I'm going to start kind of teaching you some of what I know, at least, to help kind of guide you towards being able to do this more effectively. So consider that as we move forward. Because you are someone who is about to be called, okay? When we see the judgment here, this is hearing the call from spirit, from source energy, to really share what it is we have to share, our path of healing, our path of forgiveness. This is Pluto energy, so this is very disruptive energy. And of course, January 20th, we have Pluto moving into Aquarius, where it'll remain for a few months here. And I feel like those are going to be like the beginning steps for you, where you're really wanting to branch out, really take some strong action towards this calling that you're feeling. And I do feel like this is a very intuitive calling, right? When we get the Queen of Cups, we are dealing with a very empathetic figure here. We're also dealing with someone who is very connected to spirit, who is a diviner. You can see her looking into her cup here, right? She's reading the leaves within the cup so that she can use divination to her benefit. And this is about absolutely walking a spiritual path here, because we've got the Hierophant. The Hierophant is really making a commitment to become a Jacob's Ladder. So the Hierophant in the OG tarot was the Pope, okay? And the idea of the Pope, or the idea of like a priest or someone like that, is that they join the spiritual world, and I'm pointing up here just because, but like the spiritual world is really internal, but the spiritual world with the physical world, okay? They act as that ladder. They act as that connection between spiritual and physical, okay? And that is really what Hierophant energy is all about. It is about being that Jacob's Ladder. It is about being a way shower, right? And so if you're being kind of called on this sort of spiritual path, or this path of healing, to share your own healing stories so that you can help others with who've been through something similar, so that they can heal, they can grow, they can hear their own calling. So being your most fully alive, authentic self, so that other people can be their most fully alive, authentic selves. If that's kind of the call you're hearing right now, I really feel like it's going to be very grounded in tradition too for you. Okay, when we see the Hierophant, so we've got a mixture of energies here, right? We've got the Queen of Cups, very much like kind of new agey and empathetic, and the diviner. And then we've got the Hierophant, which is more like that traditional church like setting, right? But I think there's room for both, right? Of course, we want to hang on to values that put others first, right? You got to remember the Hierophant is also Taurus energy, right? Taurus is Venus energy. Venus energy is all about love, the path of love, which is where we put the needs of others above our own, right? That's what love is. It involves sacrifice. It is caring for the willing the good of the other, right? Caring for the good of the other. And so I feel like this is something where you are really feeling this call to the divine so that you can be of service to others. Now, the advice here is you're at a crossroads, okay? So it's really up to you. You've got the whole world in your hands right now. And you've got to decide what path you want to go. This is a very advantageous place to be, right? He's not yet set on his journey, but he's making the decision. Do I want to go with by land or go with by sea, right? Which way do I want to go here? And so I think that's the advice, is Spirit really wants you to consider carefully what your next steps might be. Consider also that the Hierophant can mean welcoming in a new mentor or choosing a mentor. And that is something that does take some discernment, right? We want to spend time with a decision like that. This is ultimately about, though, and going to involve sharing how you've healed from your own devastation, from your own loss, from your own betrayals, or what you've had to deal with before in the past, so that you can welcome in a new soul tribe, people who want to work with you rather than against you, to build a solid foundation, to welcome in a new world, a new earth. So this very much is an ascension journey. And again, like I said, be on the lookout for memberships. It'll be in the description and in the the stuff in the YouTube. So be on the lookout for that. If you want a personal reading from me, it's in the description as well.